Marcel, where are you going with that disc? You are not putting that on again. Marcel, okay, if you press that button, you are in very, very big trouble.
Attention. Everybody stop what you're doing. It's time for The Unwritten Rule, a Mizzou sports podcast brought to you by the Believe Network, alongside Payton Haverman and Kenny Van Doren. Here is your host, Jack Knowlton.
Welcome back to The Unwritten Rule presented by FanDuel. Today is Monday, December 22nd, and Missouri has a new offensive coordinator. Payton, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you that this happened? Not only because Missouri filled their OC role now, but because we on this show now no longer have to dedicate all of it to talking about how good Illinois is in men's basketball.
Well, I'm happy we don't have to talk about how good Illinois is and how likely they are to crush Mizzou. But I don't know. I'm not like – this is an interesting hire, I think is the best way to put it.
It's Chip Lindsey, by the way. I don't think I said his name.
Yeah, I don't think you did either. Chip Lindsey, who is the Michigan OC. I don't think this is a bad hire by any stretch. I mean, you get a guy who – was a head coach a few years ago at Troy from 2019 to 2021. He called plays for North Carolina while Drake May was there. I believe he was the OC in Drake May's last season before he was the number 3 overall pick. That's going to, I think, be the biggest plus of this hire, is that you have a guy that has that kind of feather in his cap. You can kind of sell that to QBs potentially in the portal, if that's the route you choose to go, if you want to take a swing at quarterback in the portal. He's a Gus guy. I know he called plays at Auburn before he got the Troy job. I don't know enough about his scheme or anything. I mean, look, when he comes in here, I mean, Drinkwitz said as much, like he wants to revamp the passing game a bit, but it's gonna be wide zone, out of the pistol. That's Drink's bread and butter. He wants that to be their identity. And quite frankly, when you have Ahmad Hardy back in the fold next year, that should be the goal. And hopefully Jamal Roberts as well. I mean, that should be kind of what your backbone is. I'm not going to weigh in too heavily. I'm going to give it like a 6 or 6.5, I'd say, for now, just because I don't know enough. He spent 1 year at Michigan. He did some nice things with Bryce Underwood as a true freshman in the Big Ten. But Michigan in general was just not a great team last year, so it's kind of hard to accurately rate how he did. I'm happy with it, though. I think it kind of meets the criteria Drinkwitz was talking about. You got a guy who has a bit of a track record with QBs. When you look at Drake May, I think that's such a big thing to have as a recruiting pitch in general. But you do have the Michigan stint as well, and it was not perfect by any stretch. So it's interesting. Well, I hope Drink is kind of hands off and lets Lindsey do his thing. But it's good optics wise to say you were able to poach Michigan's OC. He probably wasn't going to be back next year. Michigan's going to have a new head coach, but still, it's an intriguing hire. I'm curious to see how it works out.
Yeah, so a little bit more just on his background. Obviously, Payton mentioned a couple of the stops. So he was in college, at least. He was the quarterback's coach at Troy. He's from the state of Alabama originally. He was the offensive analyst at Auburn in 2013. I think he's been a college coach since 2013. Between the Troy and Auburn stints, he was the head coach at a high school in Alabama. But yeah, you mentioned the Drinkwitz connection, of course, was under Gene Chizik's staff there, and so they've got the Auburn ties together. But Lindsey, he was the OC quarterbacks coach at a Southern Miss. That was under Todd Monken, Payton, at Southern Miss.
Oh, there you go. I think I do think Monken is a great offensive mind as well. So
2016, he was over at Arizona State, the OC and quarterbacks coach. Same role back at Auburn in 2017-18. Then he took over the Troy program from 2019 to 2021, which Payton mentioned. 2022, he was at UCF. And then 2023-24 for 2 seasons, he went to North Carolina and then was at Michigan.
Would that have been like under Heupel in 22? No, by then Heupel was in Tennessee, I think. I don't remember.
You are correct.
Yeah,
or you
Heupel
are correct. It was not Heupel. It was Gus Malzahn.
So it was Malzahn again. Yeah.
Yeah. So Malzahn at UCF. And then this was, you mentioned Drake May, definitely the most notable player he's coached. He coached a couple of decent running backs in the NFL now. Omarion Hampton was at North Carolina when he was there. And then at UCF, he had RJ Harvey in his backfield. So a couple good names there. And then his quarterback was John Reese Plumlee, Payton, who
there you go. They do the article from Mizzou, the release from Mizzou, also does mention he had Jarrett Stidham at Auburn. That was one of their better QBs stats wise there. Nick Mullins at Southern Miss. I mean, it's kind of funny to throw Nick Mullins in there, but I mean, at Southern Miss, if you have like a long-term journeyman backup, I think that's
he was an NFL quarterback.
He's still in the NFL, I believe. I don't believe he's out of the league entirely. So that's a nice accomplishment there. And you did mention, I mean, Omarion Hampton, he was a first-team All-ACC player and an All-American under Lindsey. So,
yeah. So, I mean, it's a good cast. And obviously, you know, the thing that stands out, of course, is Drake May and the year, you know, with him at North Carolina. But you're right, Payton. Other than that, when you kind of just do a brief overview of where he's been, the passing offense, that's kind of one thing that stands out to me on, I guess, maybe a quote unquote more negative side, was like when he had an elite passer and an established passer, he could run a very good offense through the air. But, you know, otherwise we haven't seen it a ton from him with the quarterbacks yet. They haven't had like insane seasons. I mean, you mentioned even Bryce Underwood. Granted, that's a true freshman playing for Michigan, so there's a little bit of a caveat there. One thing I have noticed is he's pretty good with like either a bell cow backfield or kind of a backfield duo. So he, you know, had Hampton at North Carolina, but Harvey split carries at UCF with another guy the year after. North Carolina stood an okay backfield without Hampton and split it pretty well. And then
was he the OC when Javonte Williams and Michael Carter were the running backs?
I don't
at North Carolina.
So.
I think he might have been after.
Yeah, I think that would have been after because that was 23-24. I think
that was after then.
Yeah, so I don't think he had those two. But the other thing with his running game, though, Payton does a lot of the outside zone stuff, it seems like, and is fine executing that. So it seems like a pretty good glove fit running game-wise. Passing game, maybe still a little bit up in the air, will kind of be dependent on how Missouri's quarterbacks develop / I guess what quarterbacks they attract and just how good they can be. But he can clearly get the most out of a talented passer. If you have any other thoughts there.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's kind of what Drinkwitz alluded to that he was looking for in kind of his OC hire. Like he mentioned the passing game specifically. So Lindsey, I mean, that's why Michigan brought him in. You had Bryce Underwood Jr. coming there. He was a big part in his development. I mean, it's so hard to play quarterback your first year in the Big Ten. So, I mean, it wasn't sunshine and rainbows all the way, but I think you can't really hold that against him. I also do want to say Kenny is not with us. He's traveling, but he did have a fun nugget about this. He actually got to talk. Kenny talked to Taylor Powell, former Mizzou quarterback, who also he went and played for Chip Lindsey at Troy. And Kenny said that Powell told him, I believe, that he thinks he'll mesh well. He's very adaptable. He thinks he'll be able to run wide zone pretty seamlessly. So just a fun little thing to throw in there.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. I'll point out about Michigan. You know, yes, Underwood being a freshman, you know, it was what it was. It was always going to be tough. They also running game wise. I mean, Justice Haynes was trending to be one of the better running backs in the country before he got injured. So if you look at their running numbers and they don't seem pretty good, that is a pretty big caveat, at least from last season, is they did lose Haynes, you know, like midway through the year. I think the other guy in their backfield had 10 touchdowns and that matched Haynes in like, you know, far fewer games. So there's obviously wrinkles there. Health is very important for some of your stars. Of course, I don't care who's the offensive coordinator. If heaven forbid Ahmad Hardy gets hurt, Mizzou's offense is not going to be as good. That's just kind of, that's how it goes sometimes. But the other thing I'll throw in here too, and another homage to Kenny, who is in here, but recruiting wise, I was very intrigued. Just the fact that he has a lot of Alabama ties. He was a head coach at a number of really good Alabama high schools and an assistant coach at a few good Alabama high schools. That could, depending on how involved in the recruiting he chooses to be, that could be a very, fruitful little, pipeline and connection there for Mizzou to the state of Alabama, where they've attracted some good talent from before. Just from my knowledge of that high school landscape, he's been at some good places down there.
I will also say, like anyone expecting to have Lindsey bring over a bunch of offensive players from Michigan, don't hold your breath. I mean, that he was there a year. I mean, guys like Underwood were not there because of Chip Lindsey. Maybe he could flip a high school recruit or two.
Are you willing to report that Missouri will not be landing Bryce Underwood in the transfer?
I'm not going to report that, but I'm going to hazard a guess that they will not get Bryce Underwood Jr. next year. I wouldn't count on any of the offensive players there following him.
Yeah, that's a fair point. It wasn't that long of a tenure. I mean, you never know. Michigan is obviously in a bit of a whirlwind as a program right now. So who knows what?
It could happen. If I don't know. So Andrew Sprague and Andrew Babaloa are both there. Those were both guys Mizzou actually recruited out of high school. Mm-hmm. With Michigan being in disarray, I mean, it's not impossible that they enter the portal. But if they come to Mizzou, I think the Chip Lindsey thing is just kind of a bonus, not really a selling point for them.
Yeah, I think that's a fair temper of expectations. So, yeah, I mean, exciting stuff. Nice to get the hire. I thought it would potentially, they'd even wait till after the bowl game and kind of go all in on that first. But it's nice.
It did feel like that for a bit.
It's nice to get it before the bowl game. He won't coach, will he? There's no way. They'll let
Lindsey. No chance. No.
Yeah. Has that happened at some other schools? I feel like I've seen that before sometimes, or if it happens early enough, they come in and sometimes coach something, but maybe I'm blowing smoke. So yeah, Chip Lindsey from Michigan is going to be Missouri's offensive coordinator next year. Definitely a lot more experience coming in than really what Kirby Moore had. So there's some more connections to kind of delve into there to kind of get a glean on what kind of coach he is, and we'll learn that as the season goes. But I like it. I think it checks a lot of boxes with what we know about Missouri's offense and what Drinkwitz likes to run and all that. So, you have any final thoughts?
No, I mean, it's an intriguing hire. I think it's really interesting if Mizzou truly does want to go after one of these portal QBs, that they bring in a guy that they can say, hey, look, he was a part of the development of the number 3 overall pick who is in the NFL MVP race right now. So it's certainly interesting from that standpoint.
Yeah, we'll see. It's obviously still going to be a big transfer portal period for Mizzou. So good to have the offensive coordinator through the door. He can help with that. And, it gives another selling point to guys to say, hey, this is who you're going to play for next year if you come here. So good hire for Mizzou football. Chip Lindsey's going to come over and be the offensive coordinator. On the Mizzou men's hoop side, Payton, let's rip the Band-Aid off. It's tomorrow. It's today when you're listening to this. It's Monday, December 22nd. It's bragging rights. It's finally here. Mizzou, Illinois on FS1. Going to be a basketball game. The Fighting Illini are 8-3. They're coming in. They won this game last year. They are coming in off a loss. Illinois is. They were beaten by Nebraska on a buzzer beater in their last game. So, whatever you want to interpret about that. Maybe it's an angry Illinois coming into the building for Missouri. But of course, a 10-2 Mizzou team. This will be their last game of non-conference play before SEC play starts on the other side of the new year, I guess a little bit of a brief overview. Metrics-wise about Illinois, they are number 11 in Ken Palm, and for the numbers that matter more to you guys as opposed to a nerd like me who looks at a lot of things. Offensive efficiency, they are third in the country. Defensive efficiency, they are 35th. If you want a quantifier on that offense, they're averaging about 125 points per 100 possessions, which is really, really good. If you ever hear a coach reference be like, oh, we're at a 1.25 points per possession, that's what that means times 100. I hope I'm not over-explaining KenPom, but I figured the qualifier matters.
I have Torvik up where they're 15 overall. They're the number 5 offense. Not too shabby defensively either. They're 36th there. It's definitely their weakness, but maybe a bit of a track meet here.
Yeah, we'll see. Some names to know. There are a couple familiar ones for Mizzou. Kylan Boswell is leading them in scoring. He played for this team last year. He is averaging around 16.1 points
I think
per game.
He hit remember he started the game 15 of 15 from the free throw line or something, and then the last one he missed gave Mizzou a chance to tie at the end.
Yes, I think I do remember that.
I think it was him.
11 for 12 he finished from the line. You're exactly right. That was the most free throws he took in a game last year.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he gets to the line this many times. They have 5 double-digit scorers. It is their 5 starters. Boswell, Andrei Stojakovic, who Mizzou fans will remember was at Cal when those two teams played against each other. He's at around 15.5 points per game. Keaton Wagler is a freshman at 15 points a game. David Mirkovic, who I believe is a returner. Maybe he's new. I thought he was on the team. No, he's a freshman. I don't know why.
I was going to say, no, I don't remember him from last year.
And then another familiar name from another school. Tomislav Ivisic starts. He's at 10 points a game. They do also have Zavadimir Ivisic, who is his brother and was at Arkansas last year.
And wasn't he briefly? He was for a year at Kentucky.
Yeah, he followed Cal to Arkansas, and now he's at Illinois. So they have both the Ivisics. Ben Hummerkaus is good off the bench for them. He was in this game last year. I'll just open it up, Payton. You hear those numbers for Illinois. What does Mizzou have to do to what does Mizzou take away from this game for you that will leave you feeling positive going into the new year if it isn't a win?
I think honestly, anything short of a win would probably not make me feel very good because Missouri kind of desperately needs it. They are in a position where they are going to have absolutely nothing in the non-con slate if they lose this game, which means you're probably going to have to win 11 or 12 games in SEC play to make the tournament. And I don't think that's going to happen. The SEC is a bit down this year. There's not as many quality wins in there. I mean, Florida is still good, but it's not nearly what it was. Tennessee's good, but they're not this big juggernaut that we're used to. Alabama's kind of same deal. Vanderbilt's great, but I mean, you're going to have to knock off a lot of those teams. So, I mean, I guess if you're not going to come out with a win, at least, I mean, the two of the 3 losses Dennis Gates has in this series were rather uncompetitive. He's only lost twice. I'm sorry, I'm mistaken there. The one in 23 was really uncompetitive, and that obviously that team wasn't good. So I think you'd be showing a little bit more if you're at least competitive in this game. But again, Illinois could not be a worse matchup for this team, truly. I mean, they shoot threes at a really ridiculous rate. Or actually, it's not as bad as I thought. It's 63rd, according to Torvik. And they're not, I guess, wow, they were a lot worse shooting the 3 than I thought. But still, they got guys like Andrei Stojakovic, we know can shoot the 3. Did it very well last year against Missouri. Kylan Boswell is very experienced. It's going to be his second time playing this game, so that certainly can't hurt. But I mean, Missouri's just got to kind of find a way. I mean, Illinois' weakness, I mean, it's still not really a weakness. Their defense is 36th overall in adjusted efficiency, according to Torvik. Still not bad. Their effective field goal percentage is 75th. But Missouri's just going to have to try and find a way to make it a track meet because that's how they're comfortable playing. But they're also going to have to figure, I'm sure Illinois is comfortable playing like that, but they're going to have to find a way to just, I don't even really know. They're going to have to speed Illinois up, make them uncomfortable, hope they miss some 3-pointers because Lord knows they'll have open looks. And they just got to get something on the board going into conference play.
Yeah, I agree with you in the sense that, like, resume wise, a quality loss does Missouri really nothing. I think they need to win this game. I mean, you mentioned that, like, what they can do. The one thing Illinois doesn't do a ton of, they are a decent defense. They don't turn teams over a lot. They're only averaging, like, I think, it's 3.8 steals a game as a team. Their steal percentage is actually second to last in the country.
Yeah.
Defensively. So they are not a super aggressive defense. On the other side of that, their non-steal turnover percentage is second in the country. So they don't give you freebies. So I think you're right. Missouri's going to have to speed them up. I think if they really want to play that overly aggressive style of defense, I think that could burn them with the talented guards that Illinois has. But that might be the recipe because you're going to have to turn them over because Illinois won't do that themselves. I will say Stojakovic actually kind of down this year from three. He's only at 21%, but they have Wagler and Mirkovic are both 35% or higher, and Ivisic is at 33, Boswell at 32. So,
No, go ahead.
Well, the other thing too is, like, I mean, Stojakovic has found he is a guy. I think they have a couple of guys in him and Boswell who really can just take games over. Wagler's made a couple freshman mistakes this year, but Stojakovic and Boswell, like, if you need to go get a bucket guy, they have the guards to kind of be, even if it's not a three, to just go get you some points or go earn a trip to the free throw line.
It's just such a different Illinois team than I'm kind of used to. I mean, I'm used to Illinois kind of being out on the run and shooting threes as much as Missouri does, but I mean, looking at it this year, I mean, they're not low in 3-point rate, but lower than I would have expected at 63rd. And they don't play fast. They're 205th or 206th in the country in adjusted tempo, according to Torvik. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of gonna, like, if Missouri's gonna make this a game, they're gonna have to play how Dennis Gates likes to play. They're gonna have to get out in transition, get Illinois uncomfortable out on the run. But again, we've seen plenty of times where Missouri has simply not been able to do that against certain teams. They didn't ever find a way to speed up Drake. They didn't ever find a way to speed up Princeton a few years ago. So I think first few minutes are going to be kind of key. If Missouri can kind of get out on the run and establish that as the style, I mean, that could be huge. I mean, do you remember the first bragging rights game under Dennis Gates? I mean, they had Illinois in an absolute blender. Demoy Hodge just absolutely ran roughshod over Illinois. It's going to have to look, obviously no one's going to have the game Demoy Hodge had, or even Kobe Brown had. I think he had like that 30-point triple-double or something like that, close to it. But they have to find a way to kind of play similar. I think that's big for Ant to kind of keep Kylan Boswell contained, but he's also got to be way more confident than we've seen this year on the, like, just running the offense and taking shots.
That Illinois team from 2023 had an awful end of the season. They lost their final 5 games. They lost to Penn State in the first round of the Big Ten tournament. They got beat by Arkansas in an 8-9 NCAA tournament game. So yeah, it went downhill from them after Missouri. But yeah, this is a very different.
When they went and played, that Arkansas team went and played Kansas. Like, that was the worst trio of teams you could have ever asked for Mizzou.
That's right. It's interesting. I mean, the other thing that Illinois does do well on defense, even from what I'm looking at on Torvik there, Payton, is they don't seem to put teams on the free throw line all that much.
Torvik has them second in the nation in defensive free throw rate with just 20% or 20.9.
Yeah, they don't put teams on the line, which is another thing Missouri has kind of prided itself on. I mean, you have Mark Mitchell, eating up fouls and getting to the line. That has helped Mizzou in some of these early games. Ken Pom has this as a 84-76 win for the Fighting Illini. I don't know.
Torvik is similar, 83-76.
I think Mizzou can keep it that close and maybe even better, but I'm not super confident.
Me neither. Not at all. I do hope maybe we have had like no status. I haven't even seen if Dennis Gates has had a presser. So we don't know what's up with Jaden Stone, if he's close to back or not, but
I will say
certainly help if he was here.
Last year, Missouri was 53rd in Ken Pom heading into this game. Illinois was 20th, and the final score is 80-77. So sometimes it can just get weird for bragging rights. It's not all, kind of comparing apples and oranges.
Kenny has just informed me that Dennis Gates does have one. He does have a media availability at 4 later. So,
there you go.
Maybe we'll get some answers then.
Yeah. So we're recording this Sunday afternoon, a little before that, but that will be interesting. I think you and I have both agreed off air, Payton, that they need him back massively to give their offense a little more of a boost. But we'll see. Maybe Mark Mitchell at the very least can get like 4-and-1s, and Jacob Cruz can keep shooting the 3s well. So I can keep using those CBB analytics graphics that they're leading the country in both of those categories. But yeah, little bleak feeling for me with Mizzou, Illinois. We'll see how it goes. Once again, that is Monday night, 7:00. You can watch it in the Enterprise Center if you're going, or you can watch it on FS1 if you're on your television. So, Payton, if you have unless you have any other lingering thoughts, do you want to do this quick hits transition? Send us to quick hits.
Let's go to quick hits.
Okay, quick hits time. We're going to finish up the show. And we've got Ken Sports Shorts to start the quick hit segment. Obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, you can tell Kenny isn't here. We put his lovely Twitter profile picture up on our screen. He did give me a Ken Sports Shorts, though, Payton, just for you. You'll have to solo this quiz because I obviously have all the answers for you. And this is one we talked about before, and Kenny put it together. It is naming, Payton, the most forgotten Mizzou football game in the years that we were enrolled in the University of Missouri.
We're finally doing it. Good.
2019 to 2022, he has one for each year. 2019 to 2023 is 2023 in there too. It goes all the way to 2025. I checked the doc wrong. Sorry, Kenny.
So I have to guess Kenny's answers.
It's yes. Kenny came up with one game. I do have hints if you would like them. And there is one. It does go through 2025 if you.
And this is non-con and con, or
it's the whole season.
Okay.
So you can start with 2019.
2019.
How is it such a big?
Let me think. Non-con. There's West Virginia, SEMO. Does this include FCS teams?
Yes.
Okay, then SEMO.
No.
Okay, that's a bad answer.
I'm gonna give you the hints.
Okay, go ahead.
It was a November SEC game. You can just
so we're doing conference.
It's both. It's all of them.
Well, I just guessed non-con. Okay, well, let me do conference.
That wasn't Kenny's pick.
That is a bad answer. That game is an absolute nothing burger.
I should say, I guess they're all SEC except for one. There is only one non-con.
Or conference. Okay, so November, that's going to be Tennessee, I think.
It is Tennessee.
Tennessee was nothing. I have
24-20 loss. Jarrett Garantano was the Tennessee quarterback.
Yep.
Well, a lot of people weren't there. All right, 2020. If you'd like to guess, it is an SEC.
Yeah, it was all conference, so I don't think it's Vanderbilt. I think Kenny mentioned he'd say Mississippi State.
It was Mississippi State. 51-32 loss to Mississippi State. Last game of the regular season, 3 interceptions in that game for Connor Bazelak.
See, that's not my answer because that was the game that Sean Robinson just randomly started playing safety.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember listening to it on the car at home. My answer for that year would be the 17-10 South Carolina game. That is just an absolute black hole in my brain.
He does have a couple of honorable mentions in some of these, including this next one, which is 2021, if you'd like a hint, or if
2021. So SEC games in 2021. I remember Georgia. I remember South Carolina. I don't think that's going to be Kenny's answer. I don't think his answer would be Arkansas or Florida.
You have not said his answer.
Is it Kentucky?
It is Kentucky on the road. Week 2 road game.
I do kind of remember that because it was so early season, and Mizzou almost had a crazy comeback.
Oh.
What?
Oh, he popped in. Sorry. Kenny's listening to the show as we recorded. He's monitoring us from the ether. And I heard the notification. I thought he was coming in to issue a correction. He did give an honorable mention to South Carolina. But that Kentucky
remember that game.
I remember that Kentucky game. It was week 2, 35-28. Loss. All right,
fun game. Missouri had a chance to win it because they blocked a field goal.
I will say, yeah, possessions. Of the ones that we've done so far, that one is the most memorable for me of the list. And I
think so too. Yeah.
All right, 2022. Do you want the hints? Kenny's first hint is hard for him since he went to every game because he was, of course, covering the team at the time.
Yeah. I don't think it'd be Vanderbilt, even though that game sucked.
I'll give you the first hint because it's not super, unless maybe this, it is a little specific, but I feel like it might be tough to.
I'll take the hint. Yeah.
It was Dominic Lovett's 4th 100-yard game of the season.
Okay, let me go through the ones it's definitely not. It's definitely not Georgia. It's definitely not South Carolina. It's definitely not. It's not going to be Vanderbilt, I don't think. It's not going to be Arkansas. It might be Florida. No, he wouldn't do that because that was the Mekhi Miller game, and he adores that game because of Mekhi Miller's contributions. Man, maybe he did pick Vanderbilt. Kentucky, I'll never forget that. It's definitely not Kentucky. I'll go Vanderbilt, I guess. I don't think that's what I would pick, but
that was not his pick. He did say if either of us have a better game, say it after. But his pick was Arkansas, 6th win of the season.
I disagree with that one too. That was like the best offensive game of the season.
So you'd have Vanderbilt instead of Arkansas?
Probably Vanderbilt, but I remember that because it was homecoming. They played so terrible, and they wore the Sailor Tiger helmets. So that's what that helmet back there is from.
2023. Do you want any hints?
Yeah, I'll take a hint.
It was the first SEC game of the season.
Vanderbilt.
Was Vanderbilt.
Yeah. I disagree with that. I actually think the game I think the least about from that season is the game we went to on homecoming is South Carolina.
So funny you said that. He said, I almost said as South Carolina. Then I remembered I was there. So he's taking it was more memorable because he was there stance.
It was just
you're just
yeah.
It was
I mean,
for a game. It was.
I think that was the game where Cody Schrader's like huge run really started though. Like his just ridiculous string of games. I think it started in South Carolina.
All right, 2024.
Ooh,
this is the one. I guess I could give you a really narrow.
If there's a hint, I'll take it.
Onside kick is the hint.
In a conference game?
No, this was the one non-con game.
Is he talking Memphis then? I thought it was we were doing one non-con, one conference, but
nope.
Well,
there is
Memphis?
one non-con. No, 2024.
Okay, well then this whole list is not correct because every single answer would be a non-con.
Hey, respect the quiz.
Except for 20 because it was all conference, but
respect the quiz.
I mean, I agree with most of his picks for the conference slate, but I mean, like, do you remember anything about Abilene Christian in 2022?
Respect the quiz.
Like, do you remember anything about?
I don't.
Texas
I get your point. You got to take it up with the quizmaster next show. That's not up to me.
SEMO in 2021, I think, or 2. Maybe it was 2. I can't
Okay.
even remember the year.
His 2024 answer was Buffalo.
There was an onside kick in the Buffalo game.
You know what? I don't really remember that either.
No, you're thinking of Murray State, Kenny. Murray State had the onside kick.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Kenny's list.
Maybe when I was formatting the quiz, I formatted it wrong.
Maybe
it was my fault. Let me see. 2024. Did Murray State kick an onside kick in that game?
Return in the ACU game 22. Kenny, Vanderbilt was an SEC homecoming game.
These games were both in 2024. I don't remember which one had the onside kick.
Well, yeah, Buffalo and Murray State were, but Murray State was the onside kick game, not Buffalo.
I'll take your word for that. I don't remember them in either one because they weren't memorable.
Murray State started the game with an onside kick in 24.
Okay. Then maybe it was. Who's to say?
I am. I remember it.
What was the least memorable game of this season?
Of this year? Louis Lafayette.
Yeah, I'd probably say either that one or
yeah, that game
maybe the Mississippi State win.
I can't. Who was the fourth non-con? It was Kansas, Lafayette.
UMass.
Yeah, which I was at that game. That was also that could also be the answer.
That could also be the answer. I remember looking up at the scoreboard, saw Ahmad Hardy had 3 touchdowns, and I was like, "When did he score the other 2?" I don't remember this.
Yeah.
All right.
Mostly good list, Kenny, but I think you dropped the ball with a couple.
Wow. All right. We will continue. We will keep it with Kenny's segment, which is we're going to Tigers in the Wild, and this is just. I mean, there's no easy way to transition to this, but it's and never news that you ever want to report or see anywhere. But Kenny had Marcus Allen as his Tigers in the Wild. I'm sure most viewers of this show have seen that news already. Of course, Marcus Allen, former Missouri men's basketball player. He's with Miami now. He was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, started chemotherapy for it. If you're watching on the YouTube, Kenny's put the post from Miami basketball. There's a GoFundMe for him. So, I mean, we'll encourage anyone to go donate to that. But yeah, just awful news, Payton. Obviously a guy who, we all wanted to see succeed after, a year in Missouri's program. And, just never good for a person, especially a kid his age and a family to go through something like this. So, our thoughts are definitely with Marcus and his family. That was awful news to see.
Incredibly scary and incredibly unfortunate that it happens to someone just trying to play basketball in what are supposed to be the best years of your life. I mean, thankfully, he is very young. Hopefully he's able to bounce back super well, but yeah, just terrible, terrible news. I really, really hope he's able to recover and get back to doing what he loves.
Yeah. So again, our hearts with Marcus and his family, and you can go to the GoFundMe. It's Miami men's basketball tweeted. I'm sure it's been posted other places around their platforms as well. So yeah, just terrible news for a former Missouri Tiger, and we hope he can make a speedy recovery and get back to basketball. Again, no easy way to transition off of that, Payton, but what is your Tiger in the Wild this week?
Yeah, my Tiger in the Wild is going to be Theo Weiss. He was elevated to the Dolphins' active roster for their game against the Bengals. He's got familiarity with Quinn Ewers. Ewers is the Dolphins' new QB1. They benched Tua. And yeah, good luck to Theo Weiss. Very, very happy to see him get an opportunity. Brady Cook also got an opportunity as an undrafted free agent. Now he's the Jets starter. So hope a lot of those guys can just make the most of their opportunities.
Yeah, great to see for Theo Weiss to get in the end zone. And yeah, clearly he's a favorite. At least this post says Quinn Ewers gets his preseason wide receiver 1. So clearly he's a favorite target of of Quinn Ewers, who the Dolphins put in this week. So hopefully he can keep contributing. My Tiger in the Wild, Payton. Interesting articulation of the world we live in college football now. It's Ahmad Hardy, who Mizzou announced has re-signed, because this is now, I guess, just free agency, the wild, wild west of college football. But good news for Mizzou.
Oh, yeah. Kenny did want us to point out, by the way, that video, if you're watching on the YouTube, that's from the preseason.
That was
not today.
Yeah.
Anyways, but back to what you were saying, Jack.
Good call. Ahmad Hardy, Payton, he re-signed for Mizzou. They posted a couple graphics of him. So RB1 is official back in the fold, and it is still very weird to see posts like this. I know this is not the first I've seen. There's other schools that are promoting stuff like this, but kind of fits what Drinkwitz was talking about, being pretty open about this is the state of college football, and he's going to operate in it. And, got the whatever deal they needed to get done to get Ahmad Hardy back.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't shocked, especially after the presser he had, Hardy, that is, where he said that they know I'm a Tiger, so they're not really calling. I had no real doubt that they were going to kind of blank check Hardy and make sure they did whatever they could to keep him in the fold. I mean, this is a guy that, I mean, you're hoping, I know he's not like got track speed or anything. He's not like and he's not great in pass pro. So maybe not the perfect pro prospect, but I mean, he's a guy you're hoping is like a high draft pick. But I mean, either way, and I mean, that's just after next season. I mean, next season, I mean, if things break your way in the portal, I'm sure you're hoping for a playoff berth. I mean, I certainly don't think you can discount that. I mean, every year is an opportunity.
I think we're gonna have another Doak Walker finalist on our hands next season.
I think we right now can confidently say he'd be the Doak Walker favorite. I mean, it legitimately would be him or Lacey at the moment.
Yeah, just Missouri just oozes running back aura, if you will. So,
hopefully Jamal Roberts is back with him.
Yes, yeah, good point. Let's go to headlines for this week. Would you like to share Kenny's headline?
Yeah, Kenny's headline comes from Mizzou, MUTigers.com, Mizzou football. Mizzou hires Jake Breske.
MUSplashpage.com.
Yeah. Mizzou hires Jake Breske as the Tigers president of player personnel and recruiting. This is a new position, I believe. They brought Breske back to Mizzou from Tennessee. I don't remember the exact role he was serving in Tennessee, but it says here in the release, Breske will manage the overall football recruiting strategy in collaboration with the head coach and staff while identifying, evaluating, and prioritizing prospective student athletes from both high school and the portal. So kind of just someone to come in and kind of help organize just the mess that is recruiting in 2025 going into 2026.
Yeah, and obviously the post mentions it as well, but has been on Mizzou's recruiting staff before. Spent 5 years on there from 2018 to 2021. So he's got familiarity with recruiting the area and recruiting for this school. And obviously Mizzou's profile's only elevated since then. So good stuff. We'll see how Jake Breske impacts the program. I'm sure Kenny will have, kind of the ins and outs of that as his tenure goes along, being on the recruiting side of things for Mizzou today. What is your headline?
My headline is going to come from AL.com. It comes from friend of the program, Matt Stahl.
Very nice.
The headline is Alabama completes historic comeback, takes down Oklahoma, and heads to the Rose Bowl. What a game. This is pretty easily the best first-round CFP game we've had in the 12-team playoff era.
You think? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. JMU Oregon was good for like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Alabama, they fell behind 17-0 to Oklahoma. It looked like Oklahoma was going to get them for a third time under DeBoer. I mean, it was bad. I mean, people were writing DeBoer's Michigan contract for him, basically, it felt like. But I mean, after that, after they fell behind 17-0, I mean, they won the game 34-7 from that point on. It was about as Nick Saban as Alabama has looked since Saban's retirement. And yeah, Alabama's moving on. They play Indiana in the Rose Bowl. I'm not too optimistic on Alabama's odds there, but certainly
that's crazy to say. Just tell yourself that another time. You're not optimistic about Alabama's odds against Indiana
in the Rose Bowl. Yeah, no, but I mean, Alabama, I mean, that was a gutsy win for them. Kind of branching off from that, Miami beat A&M in a slop fest. My God. I mean,
the end was good.
Marcel Reed just totally flummoxed in his last two games. Bitter ending. I mean, they started 11-0 and lost to Texas and then lost at home to the Canes in their opening playoff game. Kind of not a great day if you're a Notre Dame fan hoping to kind of have a point proven. I will say that much. And then the other two games were complete nothing burgers. Oregon beat JMU. Ole Miss beat Tulane. So,
do you want to guess the line on FanDuel between Alabama and Indiana?
I think it's like Indiana by 5 or something.
6.5.
6.5.
Close. Yeah. 6.5.
And they thoroughly deserve that. I mean, they absolutely are the better team going into this game.
Miami. I have to.
It's Miami, Ohio State. Then I believe it's Ole Miss, Georgia, and then Oregon, Texas Tech. Oregon, Texas Tech is the Orange Bowl, I think. Cotton Bowl is Ohio State. Miami. Has Ohio State ever played there? Actually, they played.
I don't know. I can't recall.
This is the third year in a row they're playing in the Cotton Bowl.
What do you think their line is for Miami, Ohio State?
I think Ohio State is probably a similar. Like, I'll go 5.5.
9.5.
Wow, that's a lot. Favorite. That is a lot of points.
It's a lot of points. Texas Tech, Oregon, the Ducks are 1.5 point road favorites right now.
I'll tell you what, I like Tech in that game. I do. I think Tech is going to win that game.
I have Texas Tech in the national championship, so I'm right there with you.
I do too. I have Tech against Georgia, kind of a hipster.
So do I. I did the hipster thing too. Georgia, by the way, 7.5 point favorites at home or against Ole Miss, not at home. I guess kind of at home.
It sucks. Ole Miss and Georgia have to play right away. I think those two teams are a lot of fun. Ole Miss, I'd love to keep seeing them kind of roll under Golding, but I don't believe that will be occurring.
No, I don't think so either. There you go. CFP. Good stuff. My headline of the week, I'm going to go to the NFL here. And I'm going to get, I told you pre-show, we're going to get some Bears talk from you. We just have to. But this is the other headline from the NFL games on Saturday. Eagles 2-point conversion ignites brawl. Sirianni defends play. Yeah, this is pretty wild. During the Eagles-Commanders game, an absolute meaningless game, at least for the Commanders. Their season's over. Eagles go for 2. They're trying to go up 2 scores and kind of cement the win. And someone said something, and fisticuffs ensued. There was a big-time brawl. I know Tyler Steen was very involved for the Eagles. Javon Kinlaw, Quan Martin were kind of the 3 for them. And I know there was a good quote in this article from Saquon Barkley, who was going to go join the fray, and then Bobby Wagner from the Commanders went and calmed him down. And, he kind of talks about, it costs you a lot of money and you can break your hand trying to punch a helmet. That was a pretty funny quote, but kind of nuts, Payton. Commanders Eagles do not like each other. They play again in week 18 in 2 weeks.
What a worthless game to have a fight in. I mean,
it's kind of why I brought it up.
Commanders are just playing out the season.
Yeah.
2-point conversion. I mean, I guess tactically it makes a little sense. You'd rather have Washington have to score 2 touchdowns, get 2 2-point conversions, and then a field goal. But whatever. Who cares? Washington is completely a nothing team this year.
Meaningless fights. All right, give me 30 seconds of Bears. That game was wild on Saturday night. The Bears recovered an onside kick, beat the Packers in overtime. You're in control you're still in contention for the 1 seed. You're in control of the division. Give me, what are you feeling?
I mean, it's certainly the biggest Bears win that I have watched and comprehended. I do remember watching the Bears beat the Seahawks to go to the NFC title game in 2010. No offense, Jack. But I mean, I didn't really comprehend that. I don't remember the Bears going to the Super Bowl in 2006. So it's certainly the coolest win I've seen the Bears, I think, ever have in my life. There were a couple really cool ones in 2018, but that definitely being that team that they with those implications on the line, that certainly is the best one that I've seen.
Give me a simulated recreation of what your reaction was when they recovered the onside kick.
I can't. I was running around.
Impossible. Yeah, nuts game. I mean, our two teams both just love to entertain the people because the Seahawks on Thursday kind of you talk about running around your house screaming when they beat the Rams. That was me then. So
yeah, I mean those were two of the best games of the year, mind you. I mean, it was kind of nuts.
We're the 1 and 2 seed right now.
We are the 1 and 2 seed right now. I kind of need you to lose.
Yeah, they probably will. It's okay. All right, you want to end this with the joke?
Sure thing. This one comes from our favorite TV series, The Today Show. I'm going a little festive here. A festive joke. You ready?
I am ready.
All right. Because it's almost Thanksgiving. Why did police arrest the turkey?
It's almost Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Why did the police arrest the turkey? He was... I don't know. Why did the police arrest the turkey? I can't think of a...
Why did the police arrest the turkey? They suspected foul play, Jack. They suspected foul play.
Suspected. Oh, foul bird, foul. Yeah, foul. That went over my head for a second. Good one. Good one.
Yep.
All right, we will be
Lemire for that.
We will be back. No guarantee we do an immediate post-game note or excuse me.
I can probably do one if you'd like.
We'll see. We'll see. See how it goes. Let it play out. But we'll be back. We'll figure out the time. We always do. We always give you guys a show. You can count on us. So till next time, enjoy the Illinois game. We'll see you on the Unwritten Rule very, very soon.